Get out of my way. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And now running right through it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Tackle made by Antoine Bethea.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On second down, Peterson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Samson Ebukam coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. But they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
And Ndamukong Suh was an all-pro when he was with the Detroit Lions in 2013, 2014. Many people think that maybe he might either be slowing down or not playing at the same level. My eyes tell me he's still playing at an elite level, still destroying the interior of an offense, can get to the quarterback, crush a run game, you name it. Ndamukong Suh can do it. And how about how durable he is? Hasn't missed a game since 2011.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on now is Kai Forbath. If you're wondering, he's hit from as far as 57. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good. So
they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, Locke. Completion left side to Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
He's going to get it running right. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
This Carolina defense looking to keep him out of the end zone once more. 3rd and goal. Here's Locke. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And the QB rating right now, sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they're going to have poor starting field position as he's out of bounds at his 10-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On second down, Winston again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And Hill with it over the middle. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Now Leonard Fournette, and he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now it's Luck off the bootleg. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A handoff to Fournette. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now a play fake, and it's Luck. Sliding out of the pocket. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. And the tackle there will go to Charles Harris. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Throwing is low. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Brian Orakpo in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes he...
And he's going to go down again. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, New Orleans. A.J. Green with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Ready? Who waiting?
From the gun, Winston. It's hauled in by Ellington. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
10 more there and another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Ready. Black 22.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. No gain on the play there, second down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Ready. Black 22's hot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Ready. Blue ready. White.
On third down, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, it's long. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Let's go, Mexico. Go hard.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Here's Luck now on second down. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Luck. He sets to fight. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Luck on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first down throw. Locke. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Oh, this may be a free play for Winston. Ellington has it, middle of the field. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Ready. Blue ready.
Jameis now on first down. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slam. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. To the air again with Winston. And incomplete on the deep ball. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Off the play fake, Winston. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Vontae Davis. They find some open field here. He was looking for Landry that time.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The Saints on third down. They haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Fournette. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. Now it's Ellington to return. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Final play of the half here, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game. Good.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to get this deep on a Carolina side of the field. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run with Fournette. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wondered if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been automatic. How about 8 for 8 in the game thus far? This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Luck. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Ready. Blue ready.
Again, Peterson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Easy, easy, easy.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And some room to maneuver. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They run again with Peterson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Jameis to throw it. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
And that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And Forbath will put this one through. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Well, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And the Panthers coming out now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They go play action here on first down. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's 2nd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The Pro Bowler, Brent Grimes, brings him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good call. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
To throw on 2nd down is Love. He finds an opening past the 40. Wide open receiver complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On 1st down, it's Love. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A shotgun snap for Love. Incomplete. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Here's Love. And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargraves, the one who was there defensively. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Winston. On target over the middle of the hill. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47th. Throwing, Winston. And he's taken down here by the Saints. William Hayes in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Play action now, Winston. And he finds Parker here, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hill. Touchdown, Carolina! Josh Hill. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Will Compton coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This will be 3rd and 15. Out of the gun, Luck. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today. But on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Bruce Ellington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to him.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. 3rd and 2, Luck. He completes it to Bryant. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 85 catches for him on the year now, and the result there is a first down. On first down, Luck. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Throwing his Luck. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. John Hughes in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now it's Luck. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They snap it to Luck. And able to find Green. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What
it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 2nd and 10, Luck. Flush to his right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Luck on 3rd down. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now Fournette. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Shaun Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Luck going to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Luck. Flushed, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Al Woods in there to drop him the seventh time tonight. He's gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they are.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This will be taken about the 12. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Ready. Blue ready.
Now Jameis on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Panthers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Ready. Blue ready.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And Hill with it over the middle. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Blue ready. Let's go.
The first down throw for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. The Panthers on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Winston now. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And it's incomplete. Still time left, though. 2 seconds remaining now in the 4th quarter.
Let's go now. Ready. White 25. Let's go.
One last shot now for Winston. Now a desperation. And got his man complete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.